In the United States of America, Nikki Haley has finally got a solo showdown with Donald Trump. The one-on-one that she has been longing for with Ron DeSantis is spending his presidential campaign. The first primary election in New Hampshire is set to be a two-way contest between Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. Just hours before the voters head to the polls, the Republican candidates have in fact ramped up attacks in their final push.
I voted for Donald Trump twice. I was proud to serve America in his administration. But rightly or wrongly, chaos follows him. Y'all know I'm right. Chaos follows him. And we can't have a country in disarray and a world on fire and go through 4 more years of chaos. We won't survive it.
Now, Nikki Haley has said that she is expecting a stronger outcome than Iowa. For her, the upcoming primary is a litmus test that will determine if she still has a fighting chance. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's junior campaigned to support his father, mocking the former South Carolina governor.
You know, the Democrats are voting for Nikki Haley. The Democrat mega donors and some of the rhinos are donating to her campaign so they can drag it out. You know why they want that? Again, they're indifferent as to who wins, probably between Haley and Biden. You know, Haley's basically Hillary dressed up as a conservative for Halloween, right?
The Republican race was once a 14-way contest, but the way it has thinned out of late has played out to the former president's advantage. Now, Trump sits in a very comfortable position as most opinion polls favor him. Now, both CNN and Washington Post show him with a double-digit lead over Haley, and it is important to understand here that Trump's momentum is surged after Vivek Ramaswamy's endorsement. And now that DeSantis is also backing him, the boost will be on display in New Hampshire. Now remember, trends from the past 50 years reveal that whoever has won both Iowa and New Hampshire has eventually become the Republican presidential candidate. And Haley is now the last woman standing against a rather likely Trump versus Biden face-off all over again. And our correspondent Susan Tehrani has been tracking the story and has sent us this report. Listen in.
Nikki Haley finally got the two-person race she wanted. However, it may not live up to her expectations. For months, Haley supporters and a coalition of anti-Trumpers hoped the best way to beat the former president was to consolidate support among his opponents. But even with Ron DeSantis dropping out, polls show Donald Trump leading by a wide margin in New Hampshire. What happens on Tuesday will determine whether or not Nikki Haley will stay in this race or not, and possibly determine her political future as well. Anything short of a victory will put pressure on Haley to drop out rather than face 3 weeks of punishing acts from Donald Trump in her home state of South Carolina, which she's already behind. That being said, back in 2016, Donald Trump won the New Hampshire primaries. However, he did not win the generals in that state both in 2016 and 2020. Haley's best shot at survival is a high turnout by New Hampshire's independent voters, which make up 40% of the state's electorate compared to the Republicans, which make up 30%. The New Hampshire Secretary of State has predicted a high turnout. Both the Trump and Haley can't believe that's a good thing because it will bolster their chances for winning New Hampshire. Haley's team believes that a turnout surge means more participation by those independent and moderate voters that will likely support her. They're looking at the late Senator John McCain's 2008 campaign in New Hampshire, where the Republican won New Hampshire because of independent voters. However, our viewers may also remember that Senator John McCain never became president.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.